right, the theme for 2024 is a grand rising. The theme for December is sticking the landing. Our topic for today is Hearts Ablaze. Ernest Holmes inspires the heart with this wisdom. Love is the central flame of the universe, nay, the very fire itself, the imparting of the divine through the human. And listen to this inspired quote by Nicholas Herman. The gentle, loving awareness of God imperceptibly ignites a divine fire in the soul, inflaming it so intensely with love of God that one is forced to perform various activities of loving kindness in an effort to contain it. Let's affirm together. I let the fire of infinite love blaze in my heart. Thank you. And now, Reverend Dr. Kathleen.
Don't you love his voice?
Let me see if I can do that. Doesn't work. I do have a little story to tell you, though. So just picture this. 6-year-old Angie is sitting in church next to her brother, who is 4-year-old Joel. And Joel is giggling and laughing and poking her, and you can just imagine the 4-year-old, and just carrying on, and she has just had enough. So she looks at him and tries to shush him, and he says, well, who's going to, she says, you can't be that loud in church, and he says, well, who's going to stop me? Can you see his attitude? Who's going to stop me? And so she says, see those 2 people in the back of the church? Those are the hushers. Do we have any hushers here today? Oh my goodness. So this month, we're using the analogy, a gymnastic term, sticking the landing. Everybody familiar with that one? Yeah, stick the landing. When I always think of Simone Biles with her perfect, that she does at the end after she's twirling through the air and then lands in that perfect landing. And so it's a great analogy for us when we step beyond our comfort zone and go flying through the air in the direction of a new vision, twirling and spinning. Can you see us doing that? And then eventually landing, stick the landing. And what the stick the landing is about standing on spiritual principles that serve us. And today we're going to add to that a heart ablaze with love. Because the two go together. One without the other doesn't work. So that is what we're up to today. And we're also going to be using throughout the month the symbols of air, fire, water, earth, and light. Last week was air. We stand on the air, the seeming air of thought focused on spiritual principles. And this time, hearts ablaze, fire, the fire of the heart. So let's have some fun now. You ready? Stand up. Let's stand up and do this together. And repeat after me. We're going to use some fire imagery and get ourselves going for the day. Ready? And let's do this with fire. I am on fire today. I'm firing up my imagination. I'm burning with passion. I'm sizzling with enthusiasm. And I'm blazing new trails. All right, good. Have a seat. fire. So my three talking points today are a heart ablaze, life is a daring adventure, and let go and flow. So a heart ablaze. Howard Thurman describes so beautifully in his work that's called The Moments of High Resolve. He said, sometimes we feel worn down by the dust and the grit of the journey. And I do get that. There are times when it's very challenging, and there are those of us here today who are going through a lot of challenges, and my heart goes out to you. And the way out, though, is not through the intellect. We've been taught lots of facts and lots of ways of doing things, but the way out is not the intellect. The way out is the heart. The way in is the way out. It's the heart that's ablaze with divine love. So it's one thing to know something intellectually, and then it's another thing that will take it to the next level, to bring that felt passion, that felt conviction, that felt love. Otherwise, our words are empty. So when we combine the fire of the heart with the power of our words, something really magical happens. You know what it's called? Creation. Creation. The fire of the heart. That's that added magic to the words that brings it into manifestation, that supports the creative process, which is a divine process, by the way. It is part of being divine beings and being one with this divine universe. So we literally love what we truly desire into existence. Think about that. We love what we desire into existence. The desires of our heart, the fire of our heart. And Ernest Holmes writes, the essence of spiritual mind treatment, again, that's the affirmative prayer that we teach, that's going to be in the class that Candace is going to be teaching very soon. If you want to really master this powerful form of prayer, I invite you to take the class. And so he says it's the essence, the essence of spiritual mind treatment is the feeling. And of course, the core feeling is love. And to affirm what was just said by Mark so beautifully, love is the central flame of the universe, the very fire itself, imparting the divine through and as us. So that's that. Life is a daring adventure. I love this. This comes from that beautiful quote by Helen Keller. And Jen knows this one, right? It's life is either a daring adventure or it's nothing. Life is either a daring adventure or it's nothing. So because of social conditioning, there's a tendency to play it safe. To stay within our comfort zones, to hold back from being too much, right? You don't have to hold back, Jen. We love you the way you are. And to avoid disapproval or getting hurt, protecting the heart. So playing it safe is withholding love from ourselves and from the rest of the world. So let's not play safe anymore. This is the daring adventure that we're talking about. Getting out there. And remember, this daring adventure is something that requires stepping into a different perspective on life, because the other perspective, playing it safe, is the lowest level of consciousness. It's going with life is happening to me, so I better protect myself. And so in order to step beyond that, that life is happening to us, that we call it victim consciousness, we have to let go of control and let go of struggle and let go of the pain that happens when we close off our hearts and step into that daring adventure of life. So seeking safety and security, which is what many of us do, is actually inhibiting that joy of the adventure, because it takes a lot of courage to step outside our comfort zones. So life is what it is. Life is what it is. It's a daring adventure. There's magic to it, there's joy to it, and there's challenge to it. It's all of the above. It's part of what we signed up for when we came here. Okay, so that's that. Life is an adventure. Let go and flow. I love this one. So this is again, releasing and letting go of constant control and feeling safe enough to allow inspiration, the inspiration and the guidance of the heart to take over. So in the book Illusions by Richard Bach, he describes a group of creatures who are clinging for dear life onto a bunch of rocks, desperately holding on so the stream doesn't take them away. So finally, one has just had it and said, I'm going to let go and see what happens. And at first, because he or she doesn't know how to navigate, there's a battering and a bumping into the rocks. And then eventually, there's a learning to let go and then flow around the rocks and down the stream. And isn't that a beautiful analogy for what our life is? When we struggle and whatever, we bump into the rocks, all those blocks and things that come along the way, but when we let go and let flow, then something amazing happens. What happens? Freedom. A sense of freedom and joy. So we begin by letting go of our stories that we cling on to of why life is not working for us. We let go of defining ourselves by our wounds and begin to define ourselves by our aliveness and our passion. I love that. By our visions. We let go of thinking life is happening to us, and we allow life to happen through us and as us. And then also realizing that we are manifestations of divine love. We are the beloved of the one infinite beloved God. We are the beloved of the beloved. We are made of love. That is our essence. It just gets covered over by false beliefs that limit us. But we can shed the garments of that, and let it go and let that beautiful love that we are come through. That love, that generosity of spirit. And so it's time to let go of seeking safety and security. It's time to come out and play. That's what we love to do around here, too. Yeah. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So Audre Lorde said, when I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I'm afraid. I'm going to read that again. That's so powerful. When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid. And then I think of Charles Fillmore. This is one of my all-time favorite quotes. I fairly sizzle with it with zeal and enthusiasm, and I spring forth with a mighty faith to do those things that ought to be done by me. You like it? Let's do it. Let's do it. I'll break it down. So, I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm.
I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm.
Oh, is it up there? Oh, it's up there. We can all do it together then. Ready? I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm, and I spring forth with a mighty faith to do that which ought to be done by me. Oh, the whole thing. That's not all. It's not all there. We fairly sizzle. That's the key part, is to fairly sizzle.
Okay, the slide master blew it.
Okay. So yes, spirit is all about adventure. The spirit that we are is all about adventure. And so I double dare you to embrace the adventure of life and to live it full out. Ready? Okay, let's do it. Let's do this one more time. I am on fire no, let's stand up and do it, because there's something powerful about standing up. I am on fire today. I am firing up my imagination. I'm burning with compassion. I'm burning with passion. I am sizzling with enthusiasm. And I'm sizzling with zeal